Okay, so the detector is it's down over there. Conduit attaches to this point, then goes down into the water.
Okay.
So 3 conduits from the xenon space, and 1, 2, 3. This tower is primarily for the PMT voltage and high voltage and signal.
Okay.
So 4 flanges are taken up by signal, 3 flanges are taken up by high voltage, nominally 2 spares, but we would tend to prefer to keep those unoccupied. So for instance, we might put, say, 3 high voltage, well, whatever. So the point of having some spares is that if you place them in the right point, then you have hand access for installation.
You need an installation port.
Do we need it? I don't know, but it helps, okay?
Okay.
And right now there's 2 spares. And we could obviously add another unit, but any one unit is like almost $2,000, so you don't do it lightly. So then the nominal idea was, okay, that this guy would be dedicated to high voltage for the cathode, so more or less,
okay.
This one just,
high voltage.
Once you put that on, we're not going to put something else on this. And so then all of the instrumentation would go on that. Although, of course, we could be flexible, we could put some instrumentation on this, building off of one of these flanges. The building block of that sort of thing is just like this. It's, these sorts of things, right? Okay. And we're going to have 2 6-way crosses of this sort at least. They're now in order. And we're preferring to stick with 4 5/8 as the standard, but if we need to, we can go to 2 3/4. There's one thing we're going to do is we're going to reuse as much as possible the Lux 0.1 existing feed-throughs because they're expensive. The more recent things we've bought for 0.1 were in 4 5/8, but there's a lot of stuff that's in 2 3/4.
Okay.
So there's certainly going to be some amount of like kind of a Christmas tree of this style, and then it's going to be like reducer flange to some more stuff that's in 2 3/4.
Fractal of.
Yeah, exactly. And we have to arrange the space. We have to arrange the space here in which this lives. Actually, this probably won't work. This is probably going to have to extend over and come up here. Actually, it'd be ideal if it came straight up, but it may come at an angle. We'll see.
Okay. And
then this turbo can rotate out of the way a little bit, but it's there.
Okay. And the middle one?
The middle one is for don't be just. These are only for no lines go through these because there's a valve on them. So this is this.
Oh, got it. This is again
this.
HV and SIG for the PMTs.
Yeah.
That's for the cathode and all the stuff, high voltage, and this is the instrumentation for thermometry, level sensor.
If there's a compelling reason, we don't have to do it exactly that way. So for instance, we will have the HV signal there, the cathode high voltage. We could put a branch there and add other stuff.
Okay.
We kind of thought, well, let's not do that. Similarly, it's not forbidden that we would put other lines in here, but just sort of for conceptual simplicity, we're thinking all instrumentation there. But if there turned out to be a reason not to do that, then obviously we could accommodate that.
Okay.
We just didn't see a reason right now.
All right, so somewhere in here, 12 fibers and possibly a few LEDs.
Right. And one of the primary questions is, what is the feed through? Oh, what's the flange size?
Okay. How many can we accommodate for?
Well, can you live on a 4 5/8? Do you need 2 4 5/8, or you flat out need something like an 8-inch guy?
Okay.
Realizing that's some real money to go to a size that big, but well, it's not huge money, but.
All right.
And again, because we're purging, we have a stream from the end of each of the 3 conduits, a xenon stream, that's mixed into the circulation route.
Okay.
Purity concerns for like a little bit of epoxy in a feed through is much more, it's relaxed over something that's down below.
Okay.
I mean, it's better. I mean, given the amount of plastic in the system, I tend to think that even though there's no good way to test or know for sure, that we'd be all right. By the way, we could put a feed through on Lux 0.1 if the purity's turning out to be okay. We could even do it without warming up. We could warm up to the point of taking the xenon out, just pop one onto one of the ports without actually sticking the fiber in.
Ah,
without taking it out of the basement or anything.
okay.